Hey everyone, back at it again with Apollo 10. We are currently 101 hours, 24 minutes, and 20 seconds into the flight. In about 3 minutes, we will be getting we will be beginning our insertion burn for the rendezvous. Start up the old clock here. How's everyone doing this fine day?
Translation rotation.
Yep, just making sure we're on rotation, and we'll set that throttle to minimum just after last stream's eggs incident, where we had to make our eggs burn from a mistake. Just ensuring everything is damn good and set. Last thing you want is your manual throttle being advanced. And the reason is because the throttle is actually additive on the auto throttle for safety reasons. If the computer is bringing you down too fast, right, you don't want to advance the manual throttle and then have it reset down to 10% where you would have left it, so you add it to auto. This does have the added quirk that if you accidentally leave your throttle slightly up, you'll have burns that are not executed correctly. So making sure that throttle is all the way to minimum before you start your next burn. Of course, the one way you have it in non-additive mode is just to flip throttle control to manual, but we leave it in auto most of the time. How's it going today, James? Been a while since I've seen you. Usually you come in right at the end. And we're like, finishing up. Sorry, James. Next time. But you're here with us this time, right at the start, so that's great. We are doing our rendezvous. We're in the middle of the rendezvous checklist now. We're just inserting into the proper orbit here. A really, really high orbit. And then we'll do CSI, which is marking the beginning of our actual rendezvous burn sequence. So, team minus 5 seconds till we begin our stuff. We can go ahead and just execute that a little early. There is no problem whatsoever. We got a noun 49. We'll pro on that. You watched a complete replays. That is crazy. That's dedication right there. Okay, verb 37, enter, 30, enter. We've got a time of ignition of 102 hours, 47 minutes, and 22.2 seconds. Another 0649 will pro to accept that. It is concerning that we are getting 0649s, however, given our eggs burn, we most likely have a state vector issue that would be causing that, and nothing relating to how our lock-on is doing. So not too worried about side lobes in this instance. We will get a new state vector update at some point, so I'm not particularly concerned. I was reading off the eggs, one on accident. Minus 0, 1750. Enter. Plus 00010. Enter. Minus 02143. Enter. Oh, it's going good, Yamaha. How are you? You like them over easy for breakfast? Ah, I like scramble. Oh, I didn't even know there was a movie called Obsession coming out. Scrambled eggs. Here we go. Beautiful 47.8 by 5 nautical mile orbit. Very good. Proceed. We've got our coming up on 4 marks. Let's go ahead and verify ranging data. Should have a range of about 170 nautical miles with Charlie Brown. 170 nautical miles with Charlie Brown. There's our 4 marks. Let's go ahead and reset our W matrix. And as time permits, we will take marks. Here we go, 0649. Fairly normal after a burn. Verb 57. Let's go ahead and take a couple sextant marks. Scrambled eggs is better than poo and accept. I don't know. Poo and accept gives us a state vector. James, were you around for the little mishap last stream? Recovered by eggs. You just caught that one. Yeah, I don't know. Between y'all, I would rather have my eggs scrambled than never get my poo and accept. I think that's enough sextant marks. We're supposed to go till loss of signal, but there's cool stuff happening in the LEM window. I want to be there for it. Proceed. Loss of signal. Okay. We got LOS. Right on time. Verb 88. Switch us over to the LEM. Now we're just waiting on our 11 marks here. Let's just see how that state vector integrated. Looks really nice. Okay. 152, 152. Everything's looking good. Just standing by for 11 marks now. Unfortunately, we're on the dark side. Not much to see, but the Earth is beginning to set here on the command or on the lunar module. It's already set for the command module. We are only 150 miles apart, and the Earth is already set for the command module. And it hasn't yet set for the lunar module. So it's a bit interesting, whereas if you drive 150 miles on planet Earth, the sun is not going to move by that same amount. Obviously, Earth's diameter is bigger, but just something to think about, really. Not intuitive day-night cycle here, and Earth and no Earth cycle, consequently. Give it a little bit of time dilation here. We are going to be being on the count here at 47 elapsed time. So about another 10 minutes of time skipping here. With that Earth finally setting. We're passing control point 1 from Apollo 8. Watching the Earth set in real time. Yeah. Yeah. That was pretty nuts. And I'm pretty sure I can replicate that shot too. There's Mark 9. Time skip a little bit. When we hear that RCS jet fire, we take her off time skip. Mark 10. Here comes Mark 11. Mark 11's processing. Oh, here comes the sun. Sadly, we got stuff to do in the command module. Proceed. 00. Enter. Circuit breaker pings. Rendezvous radar. AC bus A. Rendezvous radar. And get us over to the command module. How is the GDC looking? Good enough for government. That's how it's looking. Verb 83 for our ordeal. 30, 45, so just a little bit up. It's possibly just too much up. There we go. Sort of yawing at the same time, so getting these to perfectly match. Could be a bit of a struggle, but I think that's good enough. Okay, next stuff is at insertion minus 57 minutes. Our glorious sunrise. Not yet illuminating the surface. We are very, very high up. So this is kind of an exciting view. One of the highest views of the entire Apollo program of the lunar surface. If not the highest view. Well, obviously, you got the whole translunar coast, but in stable lunar orbit. You know what I mean. Yeah, I kind of figured that wouldn't count from program 0. That's okay, though. 4722. Let's just consider that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what? We'll just set it when we're instructed to. That's perfectly fine. Alright, so at T plus 7 minutes, that'll be our 40-minute mark. Go back to the command module. 57, so that's 3 minutes after. That puts us right at 50. Yeah, that's crazy. That's a crazy cool view. Lunar module is supposed to be down on the surface, and it is exceedingly high up in the lunar sky right now. That is kind of cool. Standing by for that P20 to finish up processing our verb 87 here. And then it'll go to process the verb 57. There we go. Letting it stabilize out a little bit. We'll go ahead and take our marks. There's one. On the second mark, we don't need to wait. So there's two. And now we'll wait for the comp activity light. And here comes number 3. Oh. Must have had a VHF mark in there. Waiting for it to stabilize. There it is. And there's Mark 3. Proceed. Verb 93, enter. That'll reset our W matrix. And let's just take a quick look of the lunar surface real quick. Just because I'm very sad that we have to do stuff while we're here. Which we're going down view here. We still haven't reached our Apolloon yet, so we do have some time to still see exciting stuff. Planet down there. Waiting for that comp activity light. Must have gotten a VHF ranging mark. Okay. Another on the sextant. Mark. Standing by for the comp activity light. Looks good. Stabilized. Mark. Comp activity light's good. Mark. Mark. How many marks was that? I lost count. Either 20 marks or insertion minus 40 minutes. Oh yeah, especially that high up from the surface. Here, let's proceed on that. I think that's more than enough marks. Revolution 14, where are we at in our orbit? Still haven't approached the apogee yet. You can see the Terminator here in our overhead window. It's kind of crazy being able to look down, see fully lit surface, look up completely unlit surface. That's cool. Yeah, try doing that on Earth. I guess from Earth orbit you can do that, but, you know, try doing that from where you're standing on Earth. Yeah, that's quite the awesome view right there. Gonna see anything like it ever again. Reference, here's the command module. You can see the difference in our orbital altitude here. Okay, good mark. Here's 2. Three. Four. Why does the AGC sometimes adjust a number up or down after an input? Ah, that is because it is its numbering system. It's both the fact that it's in what was it? One's complement and also the bit length. It's an octal. There's Mark 6. Seven. 8. Nine. And there goes 10. All right, that's our final mark here. We'll go verb 88, terminate ranging marks. And you can see we are now increasing in distance. And we've lost ranging or radar data. (224 nautical miles out and increasing. We have just passed our Apolloon there. Coming up on T-minus 40 minutes. It'll be 7 minutes, 22 seconds after. There's control point 1. Very nice. Control points are really helpful for knowing when certain landmarks will be appearing, and also as a good gauge for your orbital path, your ground path. If for whatever reason you don't pass a control point when you're supposed to, that is a very, very bad thing. Coming down now. Ready to start the clock. Mark. All right, we will split our electrical plant here. So that's BAT 5 normal feed on, BAT 6 normal feed on, BAT 1 high volt reset, BAT 3 high volt reset. Electrical plant split now. Close our radar circuit breakers. And let's pressurize. Helium monitor. Ascent press 1 and 2. Both look good. Propellant, temp, and pressure monitor. 2 ascent engine talkbacks gray. Explosive device master arm on. Ascent helium select both. Ascent start. Fire. Good ascent pressure. Master arm off. Ascent engine pressurized. Lights out. Good pressure. Verb 56. Enter. 00. Enter. We'll do a pitch down of 50 degrees, so about 108. Or excuse me, that would be about 208. Pitch down. $208. Switching to LEM. Insertion T-minus 36 minutes. We'll begin our P20 track again. Such a shame we won't be able to see such lunar views from so high up anymore. T-minus 36 minutes. Q program 20. Verb 81. Enter. Looks like no noun 18. $278 nautical miles. 278. Okay. It looks good. No side lobe. Very nice. Activating the eggs rendezvous steering. And we can see needles are mostly centered, so that also is another confirmation here that we've got a good lock here. We're not side lobed. We verified main lobe. The eggs is really, really good at keeping that command module state vector. So long as she doesn't move. Oh. Computer seems to have thought we side lobed. Okay, relock. Coming up on 285. Yep, 285. Pitch up. Centered. Okay, yep, looks good. Still corresponds to eggs marks. Verb 64. Enter. We have not had acquisition yet. That would be minus 56. 30. 45. Yes, about 56 right there. And 183. Standing by for acquisition of signal. I couldn't imagine being the commander. Like, nothing interesting going out the front window. You got a little bit of time to wait. You just standing here looking up, breaking your neck. Probably hurts like an SOB. Although no gravity, so maybe it doesn't. Maybe keeping your head pointed straight up at the sky is no problem in zero gravity. I wouldn't know, but to me, the intuitive nature of that is that it would hurt like a son of a bitch. Sure, your muscles have a lot less to fight against, but it's also not the natural position of your muscles. So your muscles are working when you point your head up, even if you got nothing to fight against. Standing by for acquisition of signal here in the command module. What do we got? We've just passed control point 2 in the command module. We could probably see it out the front window. With the rendezvous program on, the lunar module would have been beneath our feet. However, we did terminate that program earlier. So relative to the command module, presently at this time, I have no idea where the lunar module is. Passing 300 nautical miles distance. Verifying here, passing 300. Light time compression, not anything too much. We should have acquisition of signal very shortly. Oh, I do just want to point out, and I point this out every time, but I do just want to point out still. Look at these beautiful reflections. They've done a marvelous job, whoever did these reflections. They look really, really good. And I hope we can get reflections like that someday in re-entry. Because let me tell you, an external view like that with the reflections, it just adds. It does add. The reflection makes it look like it hasn't been weathered down by the atmosphere. But, you know, internal graphics are great, but re-entry does beat them in that department, so what do you want? You're flying the spacecraft most of the time, not external, so they both have their pros and cons, if you will. Acquisition of signal, still standing by. In fact, we may go to the LEM while we're time skipping. Just because, as you can see, LEM is a little bit bouncy here. We don't want to be time skipping too harshly. We still have not got that backup insertion pad. Or acquisition of signal. And we are less than T-minus 30 minutes. So slightly nervous. While we're waiting, let's just make sure that we do have a screenshot of this pad. This is a pretty important one. We want to make sure it's saved. Ah, here she comes. Oh, if only I could see that in the sextant. Look at that. Acquisition Goldstone. We've got it. Coming up on Acquisition Madrid. Just that little tiny part left to expose. Okay. We've got it. There's our backup insertion pad right away. Proceed. Go poo and accept. Get ourselves a CSM state vector update. And while that's going down, let's copy this pad here. This is for the CSM here. All right, uplink complete. Got a fresh new command module state vector. Looking shining. T-minus 30 minutes has passed. We've got T-minus 25 now. Verb 37, enter, 30, enter. 102.47.2220, like that, proceed. Lunar module should be 1750, 1 and 2143, minus plus minus. I like that, proceed. Searching for a signal here. Got nothing so far. 47851. I like that. Let's go ahead and reset our timer. 10:20. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Counting down. Mark. Alright, let's see where that Earth is now. It is going to be behind us. No, in front of us. No, we even have not had acquisition yet. And we are less than T-minus 25 minutes. We will stand by for acquisition, but at this point, we do need to get a move on here. At 13 marks, we'll terminate P20. Okay, still no acquisition of signal, and the mission control has given up at this point, waiting for an AOS. So we will also proceed. Let's go for voice. T-minus 25 minutes. Let's kick off our electrical plant at T-minus 23 minutes. We have 13 marks. Proceed. Well, we had 12, but that's close enough. Terminate P20. 00. Enter. Open the rendezvous radar. And let's accept. Oh, look at that. We do have acquisition. Let's go ahead and get that lock. I must have missed the AOS message. Okay, we've got it. After that update, we've got to load the backup pad. It's the command module computer. That backup insertion takes place at 102.50.26.27. 102.50. And that was 26.27. Delta V 1921 minus 1.3 and 1014. Proceed. Proceed. 1021. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Counting down. Mark. Okay. Proceed. 0, 0. Enter. And let's maneuver to that burn attitude here. 180.231.001. Standing by for staging in the lunar module. And there we have it. Verb 37, enter. 40, enter. Proceed. And switch to LEM. T-minus 17 minutes, right on the dot. Okay. Pull egress. Cabin repress close. Descent O2 close. SNO2 open. Regs to egress. Water tank select ascent. Ascent water open. Descent water close. Ascent batteries go. Go. Bus volts go. 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 Okay. Descent batteries dead face. Standing by for the 16-minute mark. T-minus 16 minutes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark. 16 minutes. Deca gimbal AC bus A, Deca gimbal open. Thrust open. Descent helium regulator vents open. Heaters landing radar open. Deca power open. Verify RCS. RCS is go. Apps. Apps is go. Standing by for T-minus 14 minutes. T-minus 14 minutes. Master arm on. Attitude translation 2 jets. Eggs at hold. Guidance control eggs. Pitch down to Ordeal 270. Or pitch up, excuse me. Ordeal 270. Standing by for the T-minus 12-minute mark. Hey, you're here just for the staging. That's good. That's good. Look at this beautiful lunar surface. This is where I'm gonna make a save because I'm getting nervous now here. Can't be having a mess up here in front of homemade documentaries. That would be sinister. Landmark F1. That'd be a beautiful landing site. D-minus 12 minutes. Verb 48, enter. Verb 21, enter. 12002, enter. Proceed. Verb 21, enter. Ascent stage weight is plus 08424. Enter. Proceed. Standing by for the T-minus 11-minute mark.
Translation.
All right. Jackson gives us the go for staging. T-minus 11 minutes. Mark. Verb 37, enter. 47, enter.
Rotation. Translation.
Oh boy. Staging happens at the T-minus 10-minute mark. So long, landmark F1. Five, four, three, two, one. Mark. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Staging. Okay. Proceed. 0, 0. Oh, having a flip out here.
Rotation.
Okay. Whoop. That was weird. That should not have happened, but it's okay. By the way, there's half our spacecraft. Verb 37, enter, 30, enter. Loading new TIG time. 102 hours, 47 minutes, 22.2 seconds. Proceed. New deltas. 174.9. 2.6. 214.3. Proceed. And there's our descent stage. Look at that. Take a screenshot of that. Proceed. Verb 47. Enter. Okay. Clear 414 plus 1. Enter. Proceed. Clear 414 readout. Okay, proceed. Activating external Delta V guidance. Engine select Ascent engine. And RCS on. 514. 515. 516. 623. T-minus 6 minutes. Guidance control pings. 4-2. Enter. Proceed to auto maneuver. So long, descent stage. We are getting mighty close to the surface now. Or at our low point, we will ignite our engine. Attitude stable. Verb 06, noun 86. 450 minus 01727. Enter. 451 plus 00026. Enter. 452 minus 02161. Enter. 400 plus 1. 407 plus 0. Key release. Enter. T minus 4 minutes. Ascent helium looks good. Engine stops are reset. Attitude translation 4 jets. Burn time is only 21 seconds. And that lunar surface is just so close. It really almost looks like you can reach out, touch the surface. I mean, I don't know how these astronauts are supposed to make commentary on all of this during the middle of procedures like this one. Landmark 422, there it is. Little crater. T minus 2 minutes. Coming up on a T minus 1 minute mark. Oh man, that is actually crazy. We're getting to the point where it's just teetering on the edge of a surface render and the orbit render. So stuff's starting to look a little weird. But yeah, as long as you look at it from an angle, it holds up. If you look at it straight on, then but I mean, what do you expect? LRO data, right? Super old. Inverter 1 close. Ascent engine latching devices. T minus 50 seconds. So, Jackson, if you're still here, I think this is going to be your first LEM engine burn that you've seen live. 35 seconds. Average G. This time we didn't forget to hit enter. Ascent engine arm. Deadband minimum. Eggs is in auto. We got the 500. That's our Delta V to go. Mount Marilyn. Oh, that's really close up. T-minus 6, 5, verb 99, proceed. Foliages go. And ignition. She's holding. She's struggling to hold, but she is holding. Very bouncy, just like on Lunar Ascents. Kind of the point of running this simulation. And there's the cutoff. Engine stop, push. Proceed. How are the old residuals doing?
Translation.
Okay, a little bit of overburn here. Thrust aft. Little to the right. Excuse me, a little to the left. And let's go. Thrusting that minus Z here. And residuals are nulled. Proceed. 500's good. 501. 502. Okay. 623 plus 0. Verb 82. Enter. Orbit looks good. Proceed. 00. Enter. Engine arm off. Ascent engine latching devices open. And open. Explosive device logic B and A open. Master arm off. Inverter 1 open. Engine stop, push button, reset. Get down to 35. Verb 83, enter. Yeah, that was a really good burn. Now we're coming up on a bunch of Apollo 10 astronaut named features here. Boot Hill, Duke Island, Wash Basin. Right, 225, 40, 30, a little bit. Oops, excuse me, that was the wrong ball. There we go. 225, probably more like 28 by now. 26, close enough. Alright, there we go. Proceed. RCS quantity is 60 and 65. Looks good. Burn completed nominally, so we transmitted that to the command module. Command module will terminate this program. Mode control pings to at hold. Yawing right, 180 degrees. Excuse me.
Rotation.
Yeah, I know the description's wrong. I accidentally set it without changing the description. Who cares? I'll change it later. The title speaks for itself. And Artemis, welcome. You did miss those high altitude screenshots we took, and look at this. It is so amazing. We are down among them. Alright, let's get this command module P52 over real quick. Ah, hello Micah, this is Orbiter. It's a mod for Orbiter. 2016, or excuse me, 2024. I keep getting used to saying 2016. This is a mod called NASP for Orbiter 2024. Oh, hey, well, if it isn't Captain Swag. And, yes, Captain Swag, if you were here a little bit ago, I did notice the pitch was still indirect, which is why we had that, pitch transient upon staging with the, descent stage. But, hey, you know, we had our own little Apollo 10 incident, so that was cool. It did not affect our burn, though, since I think the pitch in auto automatically ignores a direct command. For whatever reason, it didn't affect the burn, so happy it didn't. Yeah, GDC looks okay. We'll take it. Oh, coming up on that Lunar Terminator. Yeah, we're at an altitude of just above 4 nautical miles. There was a small bit of a pitch transient in the beginning of the burn. That got corrected, as, you know, there always is when you fire the Ascent engine. And it did put us at a 4.4 nautical mile paraloon. So we were a little bit lower than what was actually scheduled for this burn. It's kind of cool. We are standing by for the lunar module state vector update coming in for the command module. And I'm just sitting in the LEM because the view's out the window. We won't be able to see him for much longer, for about another 90 minutes, so. Passing over our last few good looks. Here's what the outside of the spacecraft looks like, Micah, if you're unfamiliar with Apollo. Which would be crazy to hear, but you know, some people don't know that Apollo ever existed, so. This is MCC. I have no idea how to do Apollo 10 RTCC. Gorgeous reflection. I really like whoever did the reflections on the command module. Looks really, really good. Following the insertion burn, we are now closing our distance, 218.8 nautical miles, and closing. Oh yeah, no, I'm used to the occasional newcomer, but I'm just saying if someone doesn't know that Apollo existed at all, like the actual Apollo program, I would be surprised. But it, in all fairness, it did happen like 60 years ago. So where, you know, it's the the distance between present time and the moon landing is now greater than the distance between the invention of the Ford Model T and the moon landing. To put that into perspective, that's crazy. Oh, yeah, we're gonna have some landmark sightings of these later on, and I will absolutely not be able to find them in the sextant at all. Micah, since you're new here, we are able to do a little bit of time skipping. However, I'm extremely hesitant to do so because time skipping leads to the RCS firing, which with just the ascent stage only um, can cause us to go into a bit of a tumble. Yeah, that's true. That's also true. Yep, and that's exactly what I mean about the time skipping. So that's why we don't do it too much. But we can do just a little tiny bit. Typically what I'll do is I'll tap 10x speed for time skipping about 5 seconds of sim time and then resume real time. So just half a second bursts of 10x speed is usually what I'll do. And there's our uplink. Let them know we're ready to receive. Yeah, and might I say, recently, eBiblio, at least for me, has been a little slow to load. Um, so hopefully that's not a continuing problem. There is no tutorial for this. There's a quick start guide, and you just kind of jump in and follow the checklists that's given to you. If I show you my screen, actually, this is what I see. As you can see, I'm given a checklist here on the bottom left. I could drag it around through an external window. Lets me know what to click and when, just like in real life. But you still need to know what the heck you're doing because some stuff is a little bit subjective. Like this. If no noun 18, skip flashing 5018, 0618 steps. So stuff like that, you know, you still need to know what you're doing. And of course, there's also people you can ask questions to, the Discord, and all of that jazz. I'll take a screenshot of that co-elliptic sequence initiate pad. And let's get the radar here moved to the park position. We're moving it to the park position because we're about to take optics marks here. And we just want to make sure the radar is moved out of the way for those marks. We don't want anything blocking the mirrors. We have to power the radar completely off after we move it, because otherwise when the spacecraft drives to the star attitudes, it'll actually, the radar is gyroscopically stable, so it'll actually do some big interfering as it'll keep driving the attitude straight into the line of sight. Verb 37, enter, 52, enter. This will be the refs mat option. We'll do stars 33 and 40 with a check on 36. We will bypass the auto selection because we were given defined stars in our flight plan. That'll be 233. And we will do the auto maneuver here. Proceed. There's our auto maneuver request. Pings auto. And proceed. This is a quality of life feature that's amazing. And so is the flashing. The arrow that points to what switch you need to hit. So it's not like you're going in this having to memorize where all the switches are at. Had you seen this about a year ago, that would be a different story. But we've got so much quality of life improvements in the past few months, up to the past year. It's been really awesome for newcomers. The only downside to the flashing, of course, X, Y, X, Y, X, Y, X, Y. The only downside of the newcomers with the flashing thing is that I find that they start not to read the checklists properly. Just follow the flasher blindly, and then they'll, like, do something wrong with the computer because they're not paying attention. You'll notice that sometimes when you hit proceed on the computer, an input doesn't go through, and that's the type of thing that the flashing can't see. That's the type of thing that you need to look out for. But other than that, flashing, showing people where the switches are, has been a huge improvement in terms of my ability to teach people, because before it was like I'd have to describe where the switches were, and it was a lot of just backseat piloting at first, telling them where the switch was until they finally memorized it. Pings at hold. Enter. Proceed. And here's another one of subjectivity, which is why you need to kind of understand the spacecraft and how to operate it, because if you just were to look at that checklist, like, you would not even know where to begin. X, Y, X, Y, X, Y, X, Y. Proceed. Ooh, that was really, really good. It's actually even better than my marks with the descent stage attached. And I'm surprised, because usually it's quite the opposite. We will proceed for a star check. And that star check will be on star 36. Yeah, honestly, that might be the lowest number I've ever seen on ascent stage only markings here. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Looks good. Verb 37, enter. 00, enter. Verb 77, enter. AOT lap to CL. Alright, exterior lighting to track. Eggs and pings align. Rendezvous radar, close. Telemetry biomid, right. Roll and yaw to 0.
Translation. Rotation.
Things in auto. Verb 37, enter. 20, enter. We've got the maneuver request. Verb 93, enter. Verb 80, enter. Proceed. While that's happening, we'll give ourselves a 507. And we'll activate the rendezvous egg steering, 400 plus 2. Yes, yes. Look at that beautiful planet. Two of them right next to each other. And I can even see the moons. It's a little bit stronger than the human eye is supposed to be. Enter. And let's go ahead and check our main lobe here. Looks low to me. For what's our distance here? Alright, come on. Computer is still thinking about it. And to be honest, I'm not quite happy with that. Let's check how our needles are. It's down below us. Oh, there she goes. Alright. Now that I am happy with. And let's see what she thinks. $171, $171. I like it. We got an 0649. Proceed on that. We've already verified we've got a good lock. Okay, time of ignition of co-elliptic sequence initiate. 103 hours, 37 minutes, and 32.43 seconds. And I'm surprised that that was small because of a mishap during the last stream where we were required to burn on eggs because I forgot to hit the enter button on time. The enter button to bypass the attitude maneuver. Okay. Apsidal, crossing, CDH, TPI elevation angle, and central angle. It's plus 00001, plus 02660, plus 13000. Okay. I will look in mostly center, very nice. Another small 0649 here. Possibly that change in attitude prevented a good integration from the previous mark, so we'll accept it, and if we get another one, that'll be slight cause for concern. Proceed. Terminal phase initiates. Time of ignition is 105 hours, 19 minutes, and 31.17 seconds. Verb 37, enter. 20, enter. CMC auto. 166.4 and closing. Proceed. 166, I like it. We are already less than CDH minus 23 minutes, so we're going to have to hack a whole procedure out and give us a verb 32. It's just the joys of Apollo 10's procedures here. And at the same time, because of the nature of Apollo 10, we're going to go ahead and give us a little bit of an accelerated pitch here. Yeah, 2 degrees per second is probably fine. Okay, co-elliptic sequence time was 103 hours, 37 minutes, and 32.43 seconds. Terminal phase initiate. 105 hours, 19 minutes, and 31.17 seconds. Ah, we're starting up our rendezvous. Okay, what have we got here? Row. Row. Yeah, apparently. I mean, we only got a good few marks in, so that's not a whole lot to go by, but I may skip the CSM Y dot procedures. Or we might have time. I definitely won't have time for the sextant marks, and that's something I'd really want time for. Okay, Y dot at CSI. CSM, lem, Y dot, CSI. Proceed. Verb 90. Row. And unfortunately, it remembers none of that, so we have to type it all in again. Okay. And the CSM Y dot. CSI is obviously the inversion of that. How are we looking? Should have her in view. Yep. Okay. Let's take a couple of good sextant marks. So there's not a lot of time left. We got about a minute to take 5, which is not enough, but... First mark. First mark doesn't have a error calculation, so we can go ahead and immediately take a second mark. Waiting for comp activity light. Comp activity light. Next mark. Mark. What do we got? Minus 00011. Okay. Proceed. Last mark. Mark. Okay. Throw on that. Verb 93. Switch to lem. Proceed for final comp. There we go. Okay, that's nothing we need to write down. Proceed. Negative y dot. Realistically, VHF ranging y dot calculations in the CM are better than the radar ones in the lunar module, but just insert the lunar module one. This is CSI delta V. Plus 006, yeah. Just take a picture of that. Local vertical delta V at CDH. We don't need a photo of that just yet. Reset the event timer. Looks good. Just by the skin of our teeth, we made that. Proceed. It's 90 and 0. Blue. Forward. Down voice backup. Verb 47. Enter. Okay, egg 0 time looks good. Clear 414 plus 1. Proceed on the AGC. Or LGC, that is. 414. Read out. CSI is always the most stressful of the burn calculations because it always gives you like 30 minutes down to the burn, and this one we had like 21 minutes, 22 minutes. So this is really the high intensity one right off the bat, unfortunately. At least that uplink, or excuse me, downlink didn't take forever. Eggs and pings align. Select our ascent engine, or excuse me, our RCS. Actually, it may have been ascent engine. Oh, I see. I'm so stressed out from these procedures, I don't even remember the 411 just selection. Okay. Verb 88. Pro for final comp. $150.7 nautical miles and closing. Come on, P32. Proceed. Minus 00572. And the negative CSMY dot was minus 00010. Proceed. 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 40. Enter. And attitude maneuver. Okay, coming up on T-minus 6 minutes. G'day, Owen. We're probably going to end right after this burn, just because they'll give us, I think, quite a bit of time after this burn, before the next one starts, and always right after a burn's a pretty good time to end, so... $149.3 nautical miles and closing. T-minus 6 minutes. Open our radar. And we'll start our ascent engine burn program. Verb 06, noun 86. 450 plus 00562. 451 plus 00011. 452 plus 00009. Just making sure that 451, okay. Key release. Pings is auto. Proceed. Yep, these are all VODs that'll be added to the Apollo 10 playlist. And we've got a LOS. Loss of signal here as the Earth goes behind the moon. Well, relative to us, we are going behind the moon relative to them. Love special relativity. She's good. Different frames. Different ways to look at it. Alright, 400 plus 1 for external Delta V steering. 407. I forget what that one does. Enter. Got our noun 85. And we just got about 3 minutes to kill for the burn. This burn will be made with the ascent feeds open. So there'll be quite the little switch combination here going on. And because of that, I may actually do this sitting over here instead of the commander side, because that's quite a reach. You don't like the Lem because of Rendezvous? Ah, the Lem is so good, though. Trust me, if you flew Apollo 10, you'd like the Lem. Apollo 10, I think Apollo 10 is one of the more interesting Lem missions. You know, I was like, oh, it lands on the moon, though, but the Lem, it doesn't land on the moon. That's not very interesting. And I'm like, what the hell you mean? You land on the moon, you power this thing down for 2 days, and then you ascend and you rendezvous and dock. Whereas this mission is like you're doing a whole tons of cool LEM piloting, whole bunch of maneuver to this attitude, maneuver to that attitude, do a front flip. Look at the surface closer than anyone has been orbital and looked at the surface. Look at the surface further than anyone has been orbital and looked at the surface. I think Apollo 10 has a lot of records that still have yet to be broken, by the way, that are pretty cool and make flying this mission pretty fun. The not fun part about this mission is the slow-ass rendezvous program. So it's actually even worse, in my opinion. The rendezvous is, from CSI on, a little bit harder than Apollo 9. So, of course, in Apollo 9, before the CSI, that part of the rendezvous, that's an incredibly challenging thing. After you start the CSI and you're doing that, you have to track the command module manually the entire time. Once you get used to it, that's not that bad. It's the really slow calculator that puts a lot of time pressure on you in Apollo 10. And so from CSI on, that is always, in my opinion, more difficult than Apollo 9's CSI forward. Just my opinion, though. Apollo 9 is still the hardest mission in the in NASP. At least hardest non-RTCC mission. Coming up on Disky Blank. We're just going to give ourselves a little bit of an early 500 readout on that. The counters are always counting on the eggs, so it literally doesn't matter.
Translation.
Okay. T-minus 25 seconds. T-minus 20. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. I do this all keyboard and mouse. I use poverty buttons. Oh, shit, that was the exact wrong thing to do. Flipping around all my damn buttons.
Rotation. Translation.
Yeah, I got that part figured out. I always hated those little ones where you had to do the ascent feed on the RCS stuff. I always hated those. It's kind of annoying. And that is the reason. But that's okay. The good news is that these programs calculate for the time as well. So by just nulling out the residuals, we'll have had very much the same orbit. And by very much, I mean approximately the same orbit, and the radar calculations will fix that up in the next burn. That's one of the things I greatly appreciate about the Apollo program, as opposed to flying Mercury, for example. Um, Slightly late on a time or slightly longer to do something it's not really going to kill you in this rendezvous phase, whereas slightly late retro burn on Mercury, that'll absolutely throw you off hundreds of miles. I suppose the same thing could be said with Apollo on its retro burns in Earth orbit, but at least in the rendezvous phase, messing something up and taking an extra 2 seconds is not going to kill you, because the next burn will cancel out those errors. Everything is onboard calculated. There's no, like, mission control hasn't expected you to do something exact. So that's one of the benefits to having a small mess up in this rendezvous portion. Other than that, RCS quantity looks good, and the ascent O2 quantity looks good. Orbiter Gemini mods, there probably are, but I don't know if they're any good. Whew. Okay, little dicey burn there, but obviously in real life, it's a lot harder to accidentally flip the wrong switch than it is in here. That was bad. But we got there in the end. We're okay. We're alive. The next calculation will take care of it. How are we doing on the main lube? Let's see. Let's see what she comes up with. $134.6. I concur. Here's our TIG CDH. As you can see, there are... Oh, actually, it's only 3 sextant marks. I think we can do it. Damn it. Of course, a maneuver. Okay, I guess we only have time for 2 sextant marks, so that's okay, I guess. One. Second one doesn't make any calc, or first one doesn't make any calcs. We can go and mark on the second one immediately. And what are we at in the LEM? 46 yet? Oh, no, we got time. Okay, we got time. One more mark. Just waiting on that comp activity light. Come on, comp activity. God damn it. I really wish there was some kind of button in here that prevented the auto track with pointing of the attitude. That was a bad mark, but we'll take it anyways. W matrix will suss it out. Okay, plane change time is CDH minus 30 minutes. CDH is 104.35, 3917. 104.35, 3917. So minus 30 from that. Actually, I'm gonna turn these lights a little bit down. Alright. The extreme concentration. I just want to get a little bit ahead. No plane change is required. Let's see here. Plane change Y dot. CSM LMPC Y dot is minus 0.00005. Proceed. And then the last thing before we switch back is just to have that calculation finish. Ooh, beautiful. Take a photo.
Rotation.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay, proceed. Actually, that's smaller than I thought for that little mishap earlier. That's great. Proceed. Set the event timer, and then we will end it there. We've gotten ahead of the flight plan. That was challenging to pull off, to say the least. Okay, 42 minutes. And switch to command module. This one's actually slightly ahead of the lunar module, so that's good. Then our minus 30 mark, fail and switch, and we won't feel guilty about it. We already know we're scrubbed. We'll pause, we'll save, and that is going to end us for the evening. I hope everyone enjoyed. Before we end, let's just take a look out this window, because what a spectacular view it is. Nab a screenshot. And I hope we'll see you all again next time. Thanks for stopping by, and have a good night.